In a world where power struggles and political assassinations are not unknown, the murder of Kim Jong-nam, the half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, stands out as a chilling tale of intrigue and mystery. Kim Jong-nam, born into an illustrious lineage, was the eldest son of Kim Jong-il, the former supreme leader of North Korea. His younger half-brother, Kim Jong-un, known for his militaristic ambitions and ruthless quest for power, would eventually take up the mantle of leadership. Yet despite their shared bloodline, the brothers' relationship was anything but congenial, their lives set on vastly different trajectories. Kim Jong-nam led a life of relative obscurity, living primarily outside of North Korea. He was often seen as the black sheep of the family, estranged from the power dynamics of his homeland. Yet his quiet existence was abruptly shattered on the 13th of February, 2017, at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. In an event that seemed ripped straight from the pages of a spy novel, Kim Jong-nam was assassinated in broad daylight. The weapon of choice was not a gun, nor a knife, but a deadly nerve agent VX. The assailants were not seasoned spies, but two unsuspecting women who claimed they thought they were participating in a television prank show. The incident sent shockwaves around the globe. A high-profile murder, a nerve agent, two bewildered women, and the suspected involvement of a notoriously secretive state. It was a story that seemed too fantastical to be true, yet it was all too real. The world watched in stunned silence as the tale of Kim Jong-nam's murder unfolded. An event shrouded in mystery and intrigue, it was a stark reminder of the lengths some would go to consolidate power and eliminate potential threats. Thus began a whirlwind of investigations, diplomatic tensions, and a story that sounds more like a spy thriller than a real-life event. The lead-up to the assassination was a series of events that were as intriguing as they were unexpected. Kim Jong-nam, the elder half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, lived a life of exile that was anything but ordinary. After falling out of favor with his father and former leader Kim Jong-il, he spent his days globetrotting, frequenting lavish casinos, and indulging in an extravagant lifestyle. This was a stark contrast to the austere and secretive world of North Korea, and it only served to widen the rift between the two siblings. In the years leading up to his assassination, Jong-nam became increasingly vocal in his criticism of his half-brother's regime. He was unafraid to express his disapproval of North Korea's hereditary succession, considering it a system not fitting for a modern society. His outspokenness, coupled with his direct lineage, made him a potential threat to Jong-un's rule. But it wasn't just his criticisms that made Jong-nam a marked man. Rumors abounded of his dealings with foreign intelligence agencies. Some reports suggested that he was in contact with the CIA, feeding them information about the inner workings of the North Korean government. Others claimed that he was a pawn in a larger geopolitical game, a potential figurehead for a regime change backed by foreign powers. These allegations, while unconfirmed, painted a target on Jong-nam's back. His criticisms, his contacts, and his very existence posed a risk to the stability of Jong-un's regime. And in the world of international politics, such risks are often dealt with in the most final of ways. As Jong-nam navigated through the maze of his exile, he was unwittingly walking into a trap. His actions, his words, and his associations were all leading him towards a deadly encounter in a bustling Malaysian airport. It was a dangerous game of chess that would eventually lead to his untimely demise. February 13th, 2017, a day that would go down in history as the day Kim Jong-nam met his tragic end. On this day, the Kuala Lumpur International Airport became an unlikely stage for a deadly drama. The bustling airport, filled with travelers oblivious to the high-stakes plot unfolding, would soon bear witness to a shocking assassination. Kim Jong-nam, half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, was at the airport, likely expecting an ordinary day of travel. However, fate had a different plan. As he waited for his flight, two women approached him. Little did he know these women were not everyday travelers, but pawns in a deadly game of power and politics. In a seemingly innocent encounter, the women smeared a substance onto Kim Jong-nam's face and quickly disappeared into the crowd. It was a swift and calculated move, executed in broad daylight in one of the busiest airports in the world. Soon, Kim Jong-nam began to feel the effects of the substance. It was VX nerve agent, one of the deadliest chemical weapons known to man. Despite seeking medical attention immediately, he succumbed to the lethal effects of the poison within 2 hours of the attack. The news of his death rippled across the globe, sending shockwaves through international communities. Questions began to surface. Who were these women? How did they manage to carry out such an audacious act in a public space? And most importantly, who was behind this horrifying assassination? The immediate aftermath was a frenzy of activity, with authorities scrambling to piece together the events that led to this moment. The airport was swarmed by investigators, scouring the scene for any clues that might lead them to the perpetrators. In the blink of an eye, a life was taken, setting in motion a chain of events that would shake the world. In the aftermath of such a high-profile murder, the world watched as the investigation unfolded. The initial investigation led to a chilling discovery. The cause of Kim Jong-nam's death was revealed to be a nerve agent, identified as VX. This lethal substance is classified as a weapon of mass destruction by the United Nations. Its usage in a public space, like an airport, sent shockwaves around the globe. As the probe deepened, 2 women were arrested in connection with the murder. Siti Aisyah from Indonesia and Don Thi Huang from Vietnam were both charged with carrying out the assassination. Their defense? They claimed they were tricked into thinking they were participating in a TV prank show. They said they had no idea that the liquid they smeared on Kim's face was a deadly nerve agent. While the women faced trial, the international community was ablaze with speculation and outrage. Many saw the fingerprints of the North Korean state all over the incident, pointing to Kim Jong-un's alleged history of purging potential rivals. The audacity of the assassination, carried out in broad daylight in a foreign country, was seen as a chilling demonstration of North Korea's disregard for international norms. Yet pinning the blame on North Korea proved difficult. The Malaysian authorities issued arrest warrants for several North Koreans, but they had already left the country. Pyongyang vehemently denied any involvement, leading to a diplomatic standoff that saw North Korea and Malaysia severing diplomatic ties. In the end, the 2 women were released. Siti Aisyah was freed in 2019 after the charges against her were dropped, and Don Thi Huang was released later that year after pleading guilty to a lesser charge. The investigation into Kim Jong-nam's murder was fraught with political tension, intrigue, and a shocking lack of accountability. Despite the international outcry and the compelling evidence, the masterminds behind the assassination have never been officially identified or brought to justice. It was a case that left more questions than answers, a murder mystery that had the world on the edge of its seat. 3 years on, the murder of Kim Jong-nam continues to cast a long shadow. Kim Jong-nam's murder was more than a brutal act of fratricide. It was a statement, a chilling declaration of the lengths to which some will go to maintain power. The repercussions of this audacious act rippled outwards, affecting not just the immediate players but also the international stage. North Korea's international relations were already strained, but the murder of Kim Jong-nam added another layer of complexity. The audacity of the act, committed on foreign soil, further isolated the hermit kingdom. Countries around the world watched with wariness, their mistrust deepening. North Korea, under Kim Jong-un's rule, had shown its willingness to flout international norms, to act with impunity. The fate of the 2 women accused of the murder, Siti Aisyah and Don Thi Huang, was a dramatic saga in itself. Initially portrayed as ruthless assassins, they soon became figures of sympathy. The narrative changed from cold-blooded killers to unwitting pawns in a deadly political game. After a protracted legal battle, they were released, their lives forever altered by their unwitting involvement in a high-stakes political assassination. Despite the passage of time, the murder of Kim Jong-nam remains shrouded in mystery. Questions persist about the exact motivations behind the killing, the involvement of other players, and the intricate planning that must have preceded the act. The truth, it seems, is as elusive as ever. The legacy of Kim Jong-nam's murder is far-reaching. It serves as a stark reminder of the ruthless pursuit of power, of the disregard for human life in the face of political ambition. It's a tale of intrigue and deception, of power and paranoia that continues to captivate and chill us. In the end, the murder of Kim Jong-nam serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths some will go to maintain power.